Hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. I'm going to do one more episode of this for this session. I like having these sessions of 3 episodes. But we've got Aoi-san has figured out about Sonono and she's taken it pretty heavy. She's kind of sad, but she's also, glad she got to see her again. It feels like just one more time, but Sonono gave a really heartfelt thank you for Aoi raising her so well, and that was a wonderful scene in my opinion. But Aoi-san, I feel like, is going to confront Hiroki now, but we'll have to see. I said earlier that I couldn't bring myself to go, but that was a lie. Oh, okay. Okay, looks like I was wrong then. I thought Aoi was going to ask why Hiroki didn't tell her sooner about Sonono. Alright. You mean why you didn't go to the Connect Center? Yes. They said at the Connect Center that I could talk with Sonono again, that her memories are preserved inside. But I don't think that's quite right. What's inside there isn't the real Sonono. Not my real sister. That's what I thought. I know there are people that have been saved by the Connect Center. And I can understand their feelings too, but when I finally found myself having to go there, all I could think was, don't mock me. What do you think people's feelings are? Aoi-san doesn't stop washing the dishes and stares fixedly at the sink. Her words are directed mostly at herself. But when I saw Sonono sitting there, when I talked with her, I thought, it's really Sonono in front of me right now. I was about to let the opportunity to meet Sonono slip through my fingers. She's troubled. Thank you, Hiroki. I'm the one that should be thanking you. I'm really grateful for all the help you've given us. I guess in the end, Sonono and Aoi-san's unplanned reunion was a good thing. Relieved, I think now is a good time to ask. The one thing I always wanted to ask Aoi-san about the accident Sonono died in. There's something I want to ask you about the accident Sonono died in. About the accident? I'm sorry for bringing it up like this, but I'd like to ask this now. Like what the police told you about what happened, or any thoughts you might have on the event. Everything, basically. Is there anything you know, Aoi-san? When it happened, it was so sudden. I was too shocked to care too much about the details, honestly. I feel like there should be a comma there, but technically not improper. I see. The police told me the details about what happened, but it pretty much went in one ear and out the other. Aoi-san stares far off in the distance for a bit before finally looking at me. Why do you ask? I mentioned this before, too, but Sonono's memories are incomplete, and there's some things I just don't get about what happened. I see. Is that why you became a criminal? Aoi-san looks at me sternly. Normally, there's no way you'd be allowed to bring Sonono here. Which means you're accessing Sonono's memories illegally from the Connect Center somehow. Of course, I'm glad that you let me meet Sonono. But a crime is still a crime. There's nothing I can say back to that. Aoi-san keeps talking. Does this mean you being wanted isn't a mistake either? We haven't done the things they're accusing us of on the news. Nothing else, please believe that. I want to know the truth. We only have a few days left before we can no longer talk with Sotono. Once Sotono's memories are erased from the Connect Center, I'll never be able to find out the truth. But that means you'll need to prepare yourself for the consequences. Of course I know finding out the truth won't bring Sotono back. If there really wasn't anything suspicious behind Sotono's death, then that's fine too. But considering all that's happened to us, I have a hard time thinking that it was really just suicide. That's why I at least want to find out what happened to her. I'd much rather get arrested than forever regret not being able to find out the truth about Sotono's death. That's some conviction right there. Damn. Talk about a character having motivation. Like, you know, sometimes in visual novels, protagonist characters don't really have much going for them. Or like, they don't really, their motives are unclear. Like, take Sakura Spirit, for example. I'm playing Sakura Spirit alongside this. Is like my two kind of visual novel playthroughs right now. Sakura Spirit, the main character, does not have like a good reason for doing any of the things he does. He's like a judo star, and that's literally his only motivation is to like be a hero. And granted, I get Sakura Spirit is a much worse game than this, and it's a very different game. It's kind of like a hey, look at boobs kind of game, but like, you know, it makes me appreciate this game just that much more for how much development they've put into these characters. Obviously, it's a lot longer of a game than some of the others I've played, but like, I really appreciate the amount of character development that they've had. And like, the amount of conviction that they show Hiroki with is amazing. Like, they introduced him as like a depressed character that didn't really have much to live for anymore, and he acknowledged that. And he was just kind of your standard depressed nobody who was saying like, God, I mean, I might as well just die. And they've developed him from that character to someone who, as he said, would rather get arrested than not being able to find out the truth about the death of a loved one. And that fits into his personality very well, I feel. And the amount of dynamic character development that can be had there, because you start out with Hiroki having this personality of, you know, it's hopeless, I can't do anything anymore about it, it's all done, everything's over, there's no reason to live anymore. And then he develops into this character of like, okay, things suck, but I don't care what happens, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do something. And I'm going to either, I have two choices. I can either not figure anything out and do nothing and just die, or I can possibly die knowing something, or like I can have done something, or like there's something here that I can change or like have an influence on or figure out. And that's that's a really admirable thing. And it really makes me feel for him in terms of the character development and like his story and his plot line. Like, I'm rooting for him. Like, at first you kind of like get annoyed with him because it's like, oh God, just like man up already, or like there's so much better ways to do this than suicide. You're being stupid. But like now, like after all this development, I'm like, I like him more and more, and like I'm as a protagonist, and I'm like really hoping that he succeeds. I'm like praying that Aoi doesn't get mad at him, and I'm like hoping that no one that's close to him dies. I'm hoping that like I got genuinely upset when I died as him. Like I appreciate this character so much more now, and that's one of the that is a sign of extremely good character development. And so really well done, game developers. Aoi-san turns around to look at Sotono. She's conversing happily with Kakeru and Reina. So then I bought the muffler because I thought it would look good on Onecha. But when I got home, I saw the same muffler there. Onecha got one for me too because she thought it would look good on me. I'm kind of jealous. I know what you mean, Nana-chan. I wish I had no Nana-chan like that. You know, I kind of wish I had a sister. Well, you can't have mine. Aoi-san sighs loudly. Alright. She looks back at me. Honestly, I wasn't sure what the right thing to do. What was the right thing to do? But I've decided. I wasn't able to protect Sorano, but I'll at least protect you guys. Aoi-san. Thank you. You guys shouldn't leave the house. If there's something you guys need, don't go get it yourself. I'll buy it for you. Got it? Damn. Got it. Alright. Let's get back to our meal. Oh man. Oh boy. Alright, well, after lunch we all return to Sutton's room. We're gonna find out what happens next time, guys. That's a really good ending point for this session, I feel. I know I kind of rambled on in this episode a lot. Like, this entire episode was literally just that scene with Aoi and Hiroki. And I apologize that this playthrough is very slow, but I feel like that's what it needs to be. Because I feel like that way we can really analyze and really appreciate this game for what it is and what it wanted to do. So, I'm very happy with how this game has panned out so far, and I'm very happy with how this playthrough has panned out. It's not a popular playthrough, I'll be honest, but, you know, I'm going to keep going with it. I want to finish the game, and I hope that people start to realize why I really like this game. But, regardless, I love that point. This is a very good point to stop this session at, because we just had, it feels like it's the end of our filler, like I was talking about before. And again, like, the filler doesn't feel like filler, and that's why I love it, but like, it feels like we're getting back into the nitty-gritty of it. And that's also being shown by the music. I harp on a lot of games, a lot of visual novels in particular, about not having transitional soundtracks not doing that very well. And not like, a lot of the time, music in the soundtrack should be used as a medium for expressing emotion in the game, or like fitting the mood, so to speak. Like, you have a really good scene, and then you put music over it to fill that theme. The music doesn't make the scene. Like, you don't have this the reason this scene is analytical and like nitty-gritty is not because of the music. It is enhanced by the music. I was going to feel analytical about it regardless. And that is a sign of a really good game, in my opinion. Because, you know, they had like silent slides before the transition to the different soundtrack. It's not just like one slide it's this music, one slide it's the next music. That creates a very odd feeling of, oh, I guess I'm supposed to feel this way now. But rather, we had a really nice, thoughtful moment with Sorano and Aoi, and that scene was very well thought out and heartfelt. And then we went silent for Aoi and Hiroki talking. And throughout that scene was good enough to where it didn't need the music. And so it was good enough where we could transition then by having that be silent, and then go into this now analytical scene, which can be enhanced with music now because of the fact that last scene was so good that it didn't need the music. And so that is a very good example of why this game has done a phenomenal job with its transitioning, its pacing, and its overall use of mood. Like making you feel things, setting the tone, not just with music, but with words as well, the scenes and the characters themselves and their expressions. And it's phenomenally done. That's all I can say about it. So, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, by all means tell me, but like I really feel strongly about that. And so tell me what you think. But with that, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time on Memories Dogma Code 1.